Hey, Blairsville. We are here today. This is Sarah with the Chamber of Commerce. We've got Kevin, Ashley, and Chantel, and we are at the Bean Pod. Y'all know the Bean Pod. It is a wonderful addition to our community. It's everybody's lifesaver. When we need a meal quick and we want to go home and eat, we don't want to go out, we don't want to dine in, then we know we can run up to the Bean Pod and grab one of Chantel's ready-made meals that are in a foil container, and you can put them right in your oven. You can put them on the plate and heat them up. And so we love your product.
Thank you.
Love the Bean Pod. And today we're going to do some cooking.
Yes, we're going to cook today. Congratulations, Ashley. Ashley's just married.
Yes, I am. I'm married. I'm a wifey.
And her husband loves steak, and she has a difficult time making a steak.
Yes.
So Chef Kevin is here today, and he's going to teach her about the different cuts of steak, some side items that we can put together, and we're going to be talking about some new products that we're going to be rolling out in the fall over the next month. All new items. So let's get started.
So we're excited. Kevin, tell us about meat. You have got steaks in front of you.
Yes.
You can talk. I'm going to carry these up just to show the screen.
Okay, go ahead.
And then you can kind of just keep on. Tell us about these.
The first one there is a fillet. Comes from a tenderloin of a cow. It's one of the most tender cuts of beef you can get right there. Those are lower than fat than most steaks.
I went to the wrong side. This is the first one. Sorry, guys. All right, filet.
Yeah,
keep going.
That's also the most expensive steak. My personal favorite steak is a ribeye. It's also super tender, but it's the most flavorful cut of steak. But it's still kind of pricey. Next option would be New York strip, which is really good. And that one's cheaper than these other two, but if you're going to cook these, I would say only cook them rare to medium rare, or they get really tough. So.
And of course, my favorite, a cube steak.
Okay.
Because
I love
biscuits and gravy.
Yes.
It's a good excuse to eat biscuits and gravy with dinner and a cube steak. So.
All right, so you do biscuits and gravy and cube steak.
I do.
So you do white gravy on the cube steak.
I do.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. That's
You
a
make the
win.
same thing?
I do. I like to make it with brown gravy, but
Okay.
yes, I love a brown
My
gravy.
husband
with
likes
it.
that.
He likes that. Okay.
Haven't
Very
made it, but
good.
he likes it.
So just to tell you guys, I'm going to tell on Ashley. We are always discussing what are we going to have for dinner, because we always think about food at the Chamber of Commerce. That's all we think about, and you, our businesses. But Ashley's always like, okay, what can I do that's quick and easy and affordable? And we're kind of always like bouncing ideas around, and she's figuring out the whole cooking process.
Yes.
So, Kevin, walk us through. What do we do to cook a steak?
To cook a steak, well, let's go say for instance a ribeye. It's super versatile. You can cook it any way you want. You can throw it on the grill, cook it in a pan, you can broil it. But the first thing you do when you want to cook a steak is you want to salt the outside really well, whatever seasonings you like, and you can just throw it on whatever you want, a pan or a grill.
Do you like to do steak? You know, I'm always seeing the cooking shows, and I love it. They've got like the pan, and they have the steak in it.
Yes.
And they've got the herbs on the side, and a clove of garlic, and then they're like basting it with butter, and they're doing
Yes,
this.
that-
It's so amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of
tell
the
us about that.
basting is done with the fillet. This is, like I said, it's the most tender cut of meat you can get. But it doesn't have a lot of the fat and marbling, so it lacks a little bit in flavor. So a lot of the times, these are either marinated, wrapped in bacon, or heavily seasoned, or basted as you cook them. So yeah.
Okay, and that is adding fat in.
It's adding fat, flavor, yes, everything that it lacks. But it's, like I said, it melts in your mouth, super tender. So.
Okay, so the win with the filet is that it's tender,
Yes.
and you're kind of infusing it with
Yes,
sort of
exactly.
depth of
Yep.
flavor with adding herbs.
Yep.
What do you like to do? I see you've got thyme here, you've got garlic. Tell us about that.
This is what you can use to season a steak with. Thyme goes really well with the steak. Like you was talking about basting. You could do butter, chopped garlic, and thyme in the pan. You don't want to eat the stems of the thyme because they could choke you. But yeah, so you can just put that in the pan with butter as you're cooking your steak and baste your steak with it, or whatever. Some people like to do chopped garlic with their asparagus. Sauteed asparagus is really good. So
Love that. Yeah. Okay.
Some side items with steaks that are really easy. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, You can pop them in the microwave. They're really easy. We got some potatoes here for you today. Fresh asparagus is one of my favorites. At the house, I like to do asparagus, and I wrap it with bacon, and I put a little brown sugar over the top of it, or pancake syrup. So we're going to teach you how to make that today.
Yes, that sounds
for your
delicious.
side item. And we're going to learn how to cut some garlic, fresh garlic.
All right, so Kevin, walk us through that.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be fun.
Now, when you're at home, do you recommend go ahead and walk us through what you're doing, then I'll ask you some questions. Go
Okay.
ahead.
When you cut garlic, you just want to peel one off. And I like to cut both sides off, just the very tip of both sides. Like that. Give it a little smack, but don't cut yourself doing that. And then there you go. You got chunky garlic there with none of the nasty outside on it. So if you want to do that, just peel one off, cut each side off, and just give it a little smack.
All right, Ashley, tell us the truth. Do you
All right.
have, are these called heads or bulbs? This is a head of garlic?
Yes.
And then an individual portion is a
It's a
bulb.
clove.
All right, clove.
Yes, clove.
So it's a bulb. It's a bulb.
Yep, just a little bit. There you go. And then peel the outside off.
Okay.
Maybe hard with the gloves. Came right off. There you go. And then you can either chop it, or we use these a lot, and you just put your garlic clove in there and squishes it out. Yes.
Do you have a mincer?
I don't have
You don't have a mincer?
I need a mincer.
Okay.
But this is really good,
too.
for instance, if you want to put your garlic in here, and it comes out super. Here, I'll show you. You can just put your garlic in there.
Do you have fresh garlic at your house, Ashley?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
And it squeezes right out.
One of those.
You just take it right off. And you could add oil, lemon juice, or whatnot to that, and marinate your steaks in that as well.
I love garlic. It's so good.
All right, let's see you try and chop it. We want to see you chop. We want to see
Chop?
how you chop.
I'll show you how to do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, show me
Show us how you do it.
So you can do it two ways. You can either just smash it down more, take it off, and you hold your knife, hold it right here.
Just so people can see.
And just cut it a few different ways. Keep your fingers out of the way so you don't cut one off. And you just kind of keep going until you get it the size you want.
Definitely think cutting is an art form.
Yes, I struggle with that art form.
Now, and Ashley, you said your knives are kind of dull too. Is
Yes,
that right?
yes.
So
Yes.
you
I need a good set of knives,
knives.
honestly.
Yes.
Yes.
And a
Okay,
knife
so-
sharpener too.
Anybody watching who wants to contribute to the Ashley's
Give it a
Garlic
smash.
Mentoring Good Set of
There you
Knives
go.
fund, let us know.
And you should hold it right there.
Yeah.
And
You can go slow.
Look at you go.
There you go.
Yay.
And then kind of turn around, do the other way.
yeah, this is a good knife, guys. My knife.
And just the more times you
Don't
cut
put your
it,
finger.
I know.
the more times you cut it, the smaller it gets.
She got big, I gave her big
Yep.
gloves so that way her fingers.
It's not as
Are
graceful.
protected, that's
Yeah.
fine.
I did it.
There you
I did
go.
it, guys.
Super easy.
Yay!
All right,
Good
nice.
job, Ashley.
Very good.
Here, put it in your pan. We'll put
Okay.
your steak in there.
I'm gonna lift it with this. Is this what you do? You lift it
Yep.
with a knife.
Perfect.
There we go.
And we need some thyme.
Yeah, you want some time in there?
Now tell us about thyme. I grow thyme in my garden, in my herb garden,
Yes.
and my rabbit loves to eat it. But what else is thyme good with? Thyme is great with chicken, right?
Thyme is great with chicken. Thyme is also great with beef, roast of any kind. Prime rib is great with pork, any kind of meat really. But when you eat thyme, you do not, like I said, you want to peel it off like this, hold it the opposite way, and kind of just peel them right off the stem like that. And then you can eat that. You don't want to eat the stem.
I've been doing it wrong.
All right, so I want to just show the camera. Let's see if we can see. Mandy, you'll have to let us know if that's visible. But basically, what we're doing, can you see it here, Mandy?
Yes.
Okay, do I need to get closer? You're good. Okay, so basically what Kevin's doing is going the opposite direction of the stem, the way that it grows, and then you end out with a little bouquet in your hand.
Okay.
And I'm spilling all over your floor. I'll clean later. Can I throw it in?
Yeah.
All right.
So how much do you usually use?
Personally, when I cook steak in a pan, like I say for cast iron skillet, I actually do my olive oil, and I'll do like some chunks of garlic, so the garlic is not actual pieces, and then I'll lay these in the bottom and lay my steak on top, so the flavor kind of goes up into your steak, and you're not getting pieces of chewy thyme in your.
So typically you won't necessarily even take it off the stem. You'll
Not
just let it-
necessarily,
yeah.
not unless I'm putting it in like a soup and it's going to be blended really well or something like that.
Okay.
But I also have a picky wife. So.
So tell us about the salting and peppering. I never, always on on cooking shows, I see they salt and pepper meat, but how much salt and
There's no
pepper
salt
do you
in it.
actually use?
We get us some salt out of it.
I
Yeah.
will. Is this one?
Yeah, that'll work just fine.
I'm making it
Just put some in a container. There you go.
I was always
Alright, here we go.
taught to pour salt in my hand.
That's fine.
Okay.
I don't know.
And then you can measure it that way.
Yes.
Because you can't see it.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
can't see it when you pour it out.
Let's see if
so
this
you-
even come out good enough. Yeah, that comes out good enough. So when you salt a steak, you pretty much want that outside coated in the steak. Steaks, it's hard to over salt, and what that does is that dries the outside out.
Ah.
So when you cook it, it gets a nice crispy layer on the outside and it's juicy in the middle. So salt is super important for a steak.
So it's not just about the flavoring, it's actually, or seasoning, it's actually
it
about
makes it
how
juicy. Yes,
it's cooked. Okay.
and salt is really good with steak. It's hard to over salt a steak. It really is. A lot of people say it is, but
So, you always hear like, oh, don't use too much salt because of health reasons.
yes. But when you're, let's be real, when we're eating a steak,
We're not, that's not the time to cut back, right?
yeah, exactly.
I hear you.
So
You
yeah,
preach a little.
lots of salt on a steak is important.
Okay.
Yep.
My husband likes that. He likes salt.
All right, very good. I'm going to bring this one up to the screen. Get her going on the next thing, and I'll bring this up to the screen so they can just kind of see.
Okay, what were we talking about? Sweet
Andy,
potatoes.
let me know when you can
Sweet potatoes?
see in the screen.
Okay.
Just the level.
Well, I guess
It's
we can do it
totally
on hers.
coated, and it's so interesting what he said that by salting it, you're actually drawing the moisture out, or you're drying out the surface, not drying the moisture out. Drying out the surface so you can get a nice crust or sear, and it holds the juices inside, so it actually seals the moisture in. I didn't know that. Thanks, Kevin. You taught me something new.
Oh, you're welcome.
I just knew to do it. I didn't know why.
That means a lot. Sarah cooks every
Yeah, she
day.
does. She is a cook. I'm not a cook.
So sweet potatoes then, right?
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet potatoes are a great side. I like a loaded sweet potato. So I'm usually put it in the microwave. As you can see, we do not have a microwave here. I don't really cook in a microwave. You can wrap them in foil and put them in an oven. You can pop them. We used to make this recipe in a pan, and we would take the sweet potato and peel it and slice it. Put it in a pan with water. I'm sure Sarah knows how to do this. As the water cooks down, the sweet potato gets really soft, and you add some butter and brown sugar and a little bit of salt, and it makes a great, I don't know what it's called, but it's a great southern country,
Yes.
great side dish.
It's a sweet.
It's a sweet,
Yeah.
it's a sliced sweet potato that's kind of boiled in water with the butter. Do you
Yeah,
make that?
yeah, it's so good. It's almost like you're getting a slice of pie, a disc
Yes.
of pie, because you get that sweet flavor, but you're not. It's not so sweet, and you don't have to make the crust. It's a great side,
It is.
especially with a savory meat. Like really good.
I
Really.
love sweet potatoes. So
And you can also do them in a savory variant, like just doing the same way, slice them up, roast them. You can put garlic or whatever you want on them, do them savory style too.
Right.
They're really good that way.
Asparagus. Asparagus is one of my favorite foods. It's one of my favorite side dishes. So I'm going to teach you how to make one of my dishes.
Okay.
So this is how the asparagus comes. It comes wrapped. And one thing about it is you always want to wash your fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to wash a couple of them over there in the sink real quick. And then I'm going to show you how to cut the ends off. And we're actually going to wrap them in bacon. And then we're going to put a little bit of brown sugar or pancake syrup on top of them. I prefer pancake syrup. The recipe does call for brown sugar. But when you bake the bacon around it with the pancake syrup, it gets crispy. And it makes the asparagus kind of pop with some flavor too.
That sounds delicious.
Let's wash
I'm ready
this.
for that.
All right. So while she's washing, tell us about the cube steak, Kevin. This is the one that it's not tender, so
Yes.
that's why it's beat to death.
Yes, exactly.
But tell us what you would do if you're doing this yourself. Would you flour it or would you cornstarch it? What would you do?
What I do with them is obviously it's ran through a cuber, so it was a tough cut of meat. It's not anymore. So all those tendons are beat out of it. So I make sure it's nice and dry, and I put it in flour,
Uh-huh.
and then an egg wash, which is eggs and a little bit of water.
Okay.
And so I go dry, wet, dry, in some seasoned flour, and it fry them in a little bit of vegetable oil or whatever kind of oil you like, and they get real crispy.
And you do the white gravy.
Yes, milk gravy. Yes, very
Okay.
good.
Gravy.
Okay. Here's your asparagus.
Let me trade spots with you so you can show what you
Okay.
do.
So asparagus has a weird end on it. I don't know. Do you cut your ends?
I do. I cut
Okay.
the end off, and I always find you got to kind of go like half an inch or so. What do you do?
I do the same thing.
Okay.
With the asparagus, it has you can look at the end of it at the tip. You can see where it's hard, and it's like a root. You feel it?
Yeah.
So I don't like to eat that. So I usually just chop it about right there, and I eat the stems.
Yeah.
So like that. Now this is really hard, Ashley. You ready? So a product that we like to use here at the shop, and I use it at home a lot too, is our cooked bacon. It's 150 pieces of cooked bacon. It's a product that we keep all the time, and it's air sealed in the bag. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out a paper sleeve of bacon, just like that. And
So
you're going
easy.
to individually
it.
wrap it around each
You
piece.
start at the bottom or start at the top, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. I'll let you go ahead and
All right.
try some. I know
Now-
you make this at home, don't you?
Yes, I have. And Chantel, you're saying that you keep this in stock that people can come and buy this.
We do.
Is that right?
We do. We keep a lot of side dishes in stock in our cooler, but in our freezer, we keep fresh bacon. We keep the chicken. There we go.
Who's better than that?
Chicken,
No, you're doing
steak,
great.
bacon. We keep cinnamon rolls, soups, homemade soups, and
Ground beef?
crock pot meals.
Ground beef.
Ground beef.
So while we're wrapping this asparagus, you just mentioned crock pot meals. You have some great news for the viewers
I
and everybody in
do.
Union County. This is so exciting.
I am very excited. In the next couple weeks, we'll be unveiling a great new product line, which will include large family style and smaller style crock pot meals, pot roasts, homemade soups and stews and chilies. We do keep a great 1/4 pound hot dog. It's an all beef 1/4 pound hot dog. It's amazing. We'll now be able to sell it with homemade chili with it, so you can have it year round. Prices will range anywhere from $10 to $15, $20 to $30, depending upon the sizes of it. So you'll be able to feed a family of 4 for essentially $10 to $15.
Which is incredible.
It is.
If we go through the drive-through, a lot of times we'll spend $40
Yes.
Easy.
for our family, and
Easy.
everybody's hungry 2 hours later.
Yes.
So to be able to come after work, you're busy, pick up something,
Right.
and even pick up like one meal for that night that you can throw in the oven that's oven ready,
Right.
and then one meal that's crock pot that you can put in the crock pot the next morning.
Yes.
And you could do that for a fraction of the cost of eating out.
Yes.
So that's huge.
A couple years ago when I started this business, I had four things in mind, and one of them was affordability. We have 5 children.
Yes.
And eating out for us is, like you said, I mean, it's just not easy to do. But we also want to do something fresh. I think one of my soapboxes is I never understood why people charge extra for food that's healthier.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we don't do here. You get a food allergy, let us know. We'll alter the meal, and it's at the same cost.
Yeah.
And so we also wanted to make sure things were fresh and that you enjoyed your meal. You could custom make your meal to where if you like chicken and you like steak and he likes pork, we could have individual meals of each of those to where you could sit down as a family and enjoy your food.
And I love the idea that you're thinking about families.
Right.
So you're thinking about affordability, you're thinking about different tastes, and you're thinking about how can we get a group of people together around the table. And when you make a meal like this, it just seems like, man, we want to sit around the table. And then you talk
Right.
about the day and you interact. And so you're doing a whole lot more here than just cooking food.
Right. We're making sure that families can have something that they enjoy.
Oh, and have that time together.
Right. You don't have to do the dishes. You don't have to prep. You can put it all together. With our new freezer line, you'll be able to take the products home, straight from the freezer to put them in the oven, or you can prep them. We have a lot of different food like the bacon. And the chicken. We'll also have a new steak item. Ashley?
Yes.
It'll be a cooked steak in the bag. It's frozen in the freezer. It goes straight from the freezer. You can take it straight to the pan. It's already cooked, so there's very little prep time there.
Amazing.
Yes, very little prep time. Okay, you got your food ready?
Wrapped in bacon.
Awesome. Let me get a lid for that because we're going to give you all the food today, Ashley.
Thank you.
Yay! So you should have dinner for several days.
My husband's getting very excited.
Steak for days. Everyone wants to be home.
Steak is not a normal thing that we do. We like to do casseroles. We like to do bigger meals and side dishes. Because a newlywed, one thing that I learned is not to spend so much time on the side dishes, just on the entree.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's things like mashed potatoes and mac and cheese and just all those other standard things are very inexpensive.
Yes.
And they're easy to make. So I learned when you cook for 7, 8 people and then all their friends come over.
Yeah. And I like to do, like if I'm going to do a side, I'll do mac and cheese, but I'll make enough mac and cheese so that we can have it a couple of nights that week.
Right.
So we might have it with chicken, and then we might have it later with, something else entirely, a pork chop or hot dog or whatever. So that I'm getting some bang for my time as well.
And I like to change it up too. So if I do deviled eggs one night as a side dish, the next day we have egg salad.
Yes.
So you can change your meals too.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes. I like to do potato cakes. I like to chop up a little onion and take your mashed potatoes, add an egg and cornmeal. Everybody does it differently. But you can probably Pinterest it and find potato cakes. So if you make extra mashed potatoes, save them and then patty them out and fry them in butter and cook them that way. And then you can keep reusing your foods over and over again.
I love that.
So if you start on Sunday or Monday prepping for the week, you should have enough food to last you all week.
Yes, I need to do that. I need to prep.
So just because we didn't use all the asparagus, other things you can use asparagus for, you can use in soup. It's really good. You chop it up and fry it in a little butter, get it nice and soft, and you can make a cream base with it.
Yeah.
Another thing you can use asparagus for is like on a kebab. If you have chicken, you can kind of wrap the asparagus up the kebab, up the stick. I've done that as well. And that is really good because you can season that lemon pepper with chicken and season it any way you want to. You probably get tired of asparagus. But the one cool thing about asparagus is it freezes. You can take it just like this, put it in a bag and pop it in the freezer, and it freezes.
And it lasts forever.
6 months. I say
Not
6
forever,
months,
but
but
yes,
yeah,
a long
it
time.
lasts for a long time. And it's a great freezable item as well. So just because you buy the whole bunch, don't think that you have to use it all.
At one time.
At one time.
That's huge because if you're just 2 people, you may not use the whole bunch at that time.
Yeah.
I like to just dice it up and saute it with a little in butter with a little garlic and rosemary or thyme. And honestly, then I'll save it and I'll have it with eggs in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Love that. Or eggs for supper because eggs are always that's always a win.
Okay, so just a quick note for all the viewers at home, Sarah and I both have chickens.
Yeah!
We love our chickens.
Chickens are the best.
They are the sweetest pets. They are wonderful.
Good to eat.
And they give you a prize every day.
They give me a prize every day. I am the prize winner every day when I go out to the coop. It's wonderful.
So last year, I had to leave work for like an hour because I actually had a chicken who sat on her eggs and she abandoned them. Oh. And I put them under a heating pad.
Yes.
And I hatched chickens
the babies out.
under a heating pad. Yep.
So you're a mama of people and a mama of baby chicks.
And maybe a mama chick.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Love it.
But so we have eggs a lot.
Yes.
So
I love
eggs and everything.
Yeah. I have a question.
Okay.
Will you show her how to cut a potato?
Cut a potato.
Yeah, just in general, cutting is such a trick. But
Hey, let's do
will
one
you
of
show
let's
her
do one
how-
of these.
Yeah, sure. Okay, a real potato.
Yes.
A regular white potato.
Cut potatoes. So what you making with it?
Let's do roast potatoes. Like let's say
Roast
we're going to
potatoes?
dice them and roast them.
Okay, so
Or
when
home
you
fries.
have red skin potatoes, we like to wash them first of all. Potatoes are a dirty vegetable. So, but red skin potatoes the skin is totally good to eat. It's actually really healthy for you.
Yeah.
So, depending on your size,
Yeah.
you can cut them in half, just quarter them like that. And you could do potato wedges if you want. Just keep going like that till you get the size you want. Or you can chunk them up and just roast them. This is one of my favorite ways. Is I'll just chunk them up. I'll do like olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and paprika, whatever you want, really, and roast them in the oven. And when they come out nice and crispy, I'll put Parmesan cheese on top. It's delicious that
All
way.
right. Did you learn how to do all that, Ashley?
Yes.
Are you ready to cut your own potato?
Yes.
All right. Go
I think I
ahead.
paid enough attention.
All right, she's gonna go wash it. While she's washing the potato, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
You started the Bean Pod. You were
Yes.
40 years old. This was such an inspiration to me. She reinvented herself.
I did.
Really
Reinvented
did.
myself.
So tell us a little bit about that story. I just think this is so cool.
I think like most people, you kind of turn a certain age and you just realize that you just need something a little different. My grandmother was sick. She had dementia. She didn't remember how to cook, couldn't remember how to eat. My mother and my sister and my aunt and I, the four of us, were caretakers for her. And so we would all have to take turns going to
Cut it
her
in half
house.
again.
And taking her food, making sure she ate, trying to figure out what she did eat, grocery shop for her.
This one's a little
And
big. So
it
what
was
you can
really
do
difficult
is
to find
just lay it on this side.
foods that were
Do it in
not
half again, and then just
processed,
cut
that
it
were
in squares.
fresh. I wanted to make sure she had a good diet because she
And
was
just cut it like
sick.
3 times. There
And
you go.
I wanted to make sure she had
Perfect.
foods that were healthier for her, a better alternative than fast food. And I couldn't find anything in town. And so, besides, rotisserie chicken, just a couple other little things that were around, it was really difficult to find something to take her to where she would have good, healthy food in the fridge, something that I would make at home. So my sister, my mother, my aunt, and I all cooked dinner. We made extras, and we packed them, and we took them into her house. And when she passed, I had so much going on at the time. This just made sense. It all came together. It was a combination of my passion for cooking, for eating at the dinner table, for bringing back healthy foods, making sure my family had good eggs and some of those good staple items. And I just wanted to pass that forward. It was a passion of mine that I just saw a need in the community for it.
So you did see a need.
Right.
And you posted a graphic a long
I did.
time ago that we used with our students and a lot of other people that we thought was so helpful.
It was.
How do you find the sweet spot of your calling, your personal
Life.
calling?
Of your life.
And so you had 4 questions on there. So they were, number 1,
What does your community need? What is the need in the community? What in the community do you think that would benefit? Number 2 was something, what do you enjoy doing? Sometimes it might not be the obvious and you have to kind of dig deep. I realized cooking dinner for my family was really important. We have dinner at 6 o'clock every night at our house. We eat at the dinner table. And that is something that I carried as a tradition to my family, and it was something that I found that was really important to me. So it might just be something little you do throughout the day that you find your passion for. Another thing was, are you going to be able to make some money off of it? Are you going to be able to do something that's profitable for your family? Is it something that you enjoy doing in a way that you get up every morning and you're excited about coming to work? And you're excited about what you do, and that just living life every day and being happy with who you are and where you're at is so important. And I think 2020 has been kind of weird, but I think a lot of people got that from it. I think a lot of people got to slow down and figure out, what they enjoy in life. And this is something that we love doing, something that I love doing. Every day, Kevin has the creativity to create new meals, and we use fresh ingredients every day, and it's healthy. So we buy local, we make it local. It's affordable, it's healthy, it's good food, and it's easy. And that is so many different things all wrapped into one. So
it's a win. It's a win for the community. And the sweet spot is, what are you great at?
Yeah.
What does your community need? what are you passionate about, and what can you make money at? And when those all four intersect, you get the bean pod.
You get the bean pod.
Chantel.
From me,
Which is so cool. Yeah.
Now from Ashley,
awesome.
it might be different.
Yeah, right.
It may not be as good.
We may make her a cake after this. Right.
How did she do with cutting the potato?
She did great. She did great. It's perfect.
Okay. All right. So what's next? What else do we have? You've got bread here. You've got
We
some
do.
steak. Tell us about that.
So this is a bread. Ashley eats with us, once, twice a week?
Yeah.
3 times a
I
week.
like it.
We won't tell on her.
Yeah.
And this is one of her favorite foods, is the bread, the
That bread
crusty
is
bread.
amazing.
And so we laid it out here for her, so she can tell you how easy it is to make and how good it is. When you come into the shop, it's already wrapped in foil, and all you have to do is
Toss it in the oven or heat it up or eat it. I do all of the above. I love it.
So you toss it in the oven already wrapped up, and when it comes out, it's perfect. It's a perfect steaming, crusty bread. It just was another side item to go with your steaks. Another thing that we offer here as well is the fresh bread. As well, other side dishes, hash brown casserole. We do the mashed potatoes here as well. We do a harvest vegetable mix, which is where we get fresh vegetables from the local community, and we prepare it in a pan. I don't think you've had that yet.
I don't think I have.
Get your
That
veggies.
sounds really good.
Get your veggies.
I
But we use fresh corn when it's in season. We use the Brussels sprouts, and we use the zucchini and the squash and the onions, and we put it all together in this great vegetable medley mix. And so yeah, just as I brought out some things that I knew Ashley really enjoyed, and I think when you cook something that you like, you enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
When you like something, you can work with it a little bit better.
Yeah.
For sure. One thing too that I love is I've stopped here. We've had some new moms from our community, and I've been in a pinch and not had time to cook, but I wanted to do more than just pick up something, again, fast food.
Right.
So I've stopped in here,
Yes.
been able to get a few different things, give them one for that evening and one that they can put in their freezer. So that's a great way to just serve your neighbors, love on your coworkers if they're sick, and just faster. A lot of times you think I would like to make someone a meal, but I don't have time because I'm working full time. But you can come up here, get the meal that you've made for them, you guys have done, and bring it up, which is a great.
Yep.
Right, which goes back, to my grandmother,
Yes.
being elderly, not being able to cook. I was able to kind of tap into that market of being able to not feel bad about what you feed your family.
Yeah.
A lot of times, busy moms hit the drive-through. A lot of times, you neglect your health, and your health affects your medical. It affects your well-being. So, this just kind of all tied into that to make sure that we could fit every genre, from a busy mother to single parents to large families, to widows to empty nesters to every genre in the community, and we're able to reach everybody.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, so last you've got this is already pre-cooked seasoned beef, and this is available. Tell us about this.
It is. This is one of our new product lines we're going to be running in our freezer. We do groceries every Friday. If you don't come in on Friday, you are missing out. We do big fat cinnamon rolls. They're already in the package.
Amazing.
Sarah makes a homemade cinnamon roll that is incredible. It doesn't beat that, but
Yeah, but if we can come and get one that we didn't have to make,
well,
and it's amazing. I heard
really
your rival cinnamon bun. That's what I heard.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good. So we do the cinnamon rolls. We do the chicken, the raw chicken, the ground cooked chicken. We do all kinds of bacon, ground beef. We have just a bunch of different items. If I can
And we'll
get
have
them
more
and
soon, too.
purchase them, if I can get them and purchase them at a lower cost, we did a back to school special where we did chips and Chips Ahoy cookies. We were able to secure them at a very low cost, so which helped out a lot of moms come in. They were able to buy at least 2 or 3 weeks worth of foods for their kids to prepackaged lunches. It was really good.
Great.
I'm gonna let you tear that open.
Okay.
I think you're really gonna like this, Ashley, for busy moms. It's
There you go.
for even for you as a new learning how to cook. It's a product that's already pre-cooked. You can add peppers, onions. The bag's going to be about $7.25. a bag. There's enough in there to feed at least 3 people.
Yeah, that's a good amount of meat.
Yeah.
You could make steak omelets.
You can make
Yes.
We've done with it.
you can make
Steak and egg. That's
Yeah.
Steak
you
and
can
egg.
make fajitas,
Yes.
Fajitas,
fajitas.
peppers,
stir fry,
onions.
anything you
And
want.
it's already cooked, so I want you to go ahead
Cheesesteaks.
and try a bite of it. Yeah,
All right, nibble.
yeah. Take your gloves off so we don't have to.
Get it off there.
So it's got a little seasoning on it. It's a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yes.
It's
And
awesome.
it's juicy. It's like not
Yeah.
dry. Or
It's not dry. Go ahead and try some.
Try it.
Okay.
There's
You don't have to ask me to try steak twice.
That's
But
really
it's-
good.
right. We cooked it on the Blackstone grill.
Very good.
Yeah, we put it on the and had fried rice with it. So we had steak, fried rice,
fried
steak and
rice.
broccoli. I see her walking out. I got 2 bags, one for each of y'all. Yay! One for each of y'all to take home. Yeah, so it's a great product. So far, we've been using it for about a week now, trying it out, and
great.
between fajitas, steak omelets, fried rice on the grill, you know, you can make just about anything with it, and you don't have to prep.
Yeah, because this intimidates me, but I appreciate you. But this
No.
intimidates me.
Kevin,
This is not as
going back to the
intimidating.
steak. We want to do, let's say, this is a what, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick,
Yep.
maybe? We want to do this medium well.
Medium well.
How long?
I would recommend that you eat it medium, but medium.
We want to do this medium.
Okay, but yeah, how long depends on how hot you're cooking it. I would say throw it on your grill as hot as you can get it,
Okay.
and probably cook it about 3 minutes. Flip it 3 minutes, and then you can check it. The best way to check if you are new to cooking steaks is a thermometer.
Okay.
So, or
What temp?
got it right there. I wrote it down for it.
Oh, good job.
Medium well is 150, and medium is
Medium.
140 to 145. It differs from steak to steak on what kind you're using.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So I don't
Mediums
have a
pink
thermometer at
throughout.
home. I don't have a thermometer at home.
So what do you do?
So Kevin taught me another way.
Do you
no.
poke it?
You can poke
Yeah.
it. The way I tell is when blood starts coming out of your steak, it's medium.
Okay.
So if you cook it past that, it's going to be either medium well or well done. So
Okay.
Right.
So
as
when
soon as
blood
it starts
to
the blood come out, I'd take my steaks off.
that's
Right.
when you want it.
That's what I want.
Okay. And if you want it a little further, then you're going to leave it on a
Yep,
little longer.
exactly. Yep.
Okay. Tell me this, and I don't know what you do. Do you sear it on the one side? You said you wait 3 minutes because when I was
Depending
growing
on how
up-
much, if you're doing a rare steak, you get it hot, sear it, maybe a minute, 2, take it off
Okay.
on each side.
Okay. And so do you flip it right away so that it sears on both sides, or do you wait?
I'll do like a minute. If you're on the grill,
Uh huh.
I rotate it so you have your nice grill lines.
Mm-hmm.
So you do like a minute and a half, rotate minute and a half, and then flip it. Do the same thing.
Okay. Got it. Okay. You can do that, Ashley.
It's super easy. You can throw it in a cast
do
iron
it.
skillet at home.
Mhm.
Just sear the sides and throw your whole cast iron skillet in the oven until it's done.
Do you like doing grill or cast iron better?
I like them both. I like the cast iron because when you throw it in the oven afterwards, it makes it really tender, but it smokes up the house and my wife gets on to me. So.
All right. So Chantel, what else do we want to show Ashley anything else today, or do we feel like we've got her ready to go? She's gonna go home and make a steak and asparagus.
I don't know. Actually, what kind of questions do you have for us?
I don't think I do. I mean, this is great. I mean, I'm probably definitely going to do this in the future.
It's very good.
Future.
So
So
they can get it on
expect to see
Fridays.
No, well, on Fridays, but we actually will have a freezer, and we'll be able to carry them all week.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, so you'll be able to pick them up all week long, Monday through Saturday. We're here on Saturdays from 10 to 2.
Yes.
So you can come in any time, and we will have them in stock.
That's awesome.
Okay.
This is great too. I have learned stuff today. I promise you. And I will take it with me. Especially with the garlic. I'm sorry, but I did not know how to do that. So,
Good.
and I had it at home, and I'm like, I'm struggling with this.
You can also buy
That's
the
awesome.
you can also buy the pre-chopped garlic too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Glass jar.
Oh, I have a jar of that. That helps me.
Just getting them minced and keeping it in the fridge is
Yeah.
that's a quick
Yeah.
time saver for
Yeah.
sure.
I need one of these.
Yeah, she needs a garlic mincer. And so, Chantel, what do you want everybody to know? We love Bean Pod. We love coming here, and the community loves Bean Pod. And you're doing a lot because you are buying locally when you can, which is huge. And you are using fresh ingredients, which is huge. What else do you want people to know? You've got a new line coming out.
new line coming out. We have all of our fall foods. We're starting those coming up in the next week. So we'll have a whole new menu line of added foods. Everybody's favorites: the sweet potato casseroles, the squash casseroles. So we'll start adding those into our cooler. Everybody's favorite. And we'll have some healthy alternatives. We're going to be doing some minced cauliflower. We'll be adding a lot of some more vegan meals, which we do. We try to cover a vegan meal every day, but now we're going to have vegan sides, which I think is great, especially when you want to keep being healthy over the winter time. And I struggle with that because I love winter.
Comfort.
You want
I
the
do.
comfort
I love
food
holiday
to keep you
foods.
warm and cozy.
Yes.
I do. I love holiday foods. Of course, I do keep steak and gravy. So
Yes.
I don't want that. So we'll have a lot of the healthy alternatives to the foods coming out, which will be great too.
So you've got a lot of things that
We
are
do.
coming up. People can stop in anytime. What are your hours? You're open until...
We're Monday through Friday. We're here 10 to 6. The door's always open if there's a car out front. We typically get here around 8. Kevin gets here around 8. I'm here at 8:15. And then the door's always open. Come at any time if you're running errands. This is a convenient local shop, and I want everybody, to feel comfortable when they come in. And but 8 o'clock, our shop kind of really opens at 10 when our cooler's full and ready to go. We close about 6 o'clock in the evening. We figured most people, when they got off of work at 5, probably by 6 already knew what they were doing for dinner. So anytime after 6, we didn't get as much foot traffic. So 10 to 6, Monday through Friday. Saturday, we're here 10 to 2. Saturday is super fun. We have whatever's left in the cooler. We make everything fresh every day. So Saturday is 10 to 2. It's a great day to grab some stuff for the freezer, grab some extra items. We always have fun things going on. Right now, we're teaching teenagers how to cook.
Love it.
We did a Team to Cook program over the summer, so we're incorporating that on Saturdays. So we have some great teenagers in here on Saturday. If you've come in, challenge them, ask them questions because they're learning. They're still learning. But it's teaching that next generation how to survive,
I love
how
it.
to eat, how to
Yes.
cook, how to prepare, and how to make things. So this Saturday we did chicken casserole, and so they got to learn how to make chicken casserole this Saturday. So that was our special.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a $5 special. Come in, you can grab a pan for $5.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Saturday you get some great specials.
Yep.
Another thing is you can stop up here for lunch. I often pop in and you have the little cups. I always want chicken salad if you have that in the cup. And then but you can also get like a Greek salad, or you can get other.
We do a $5 garden salad every day. You can come and get a fresh $5 salad, fresh vegetables. It's fresh lettuce. We cut everything fresh that morning. Carrots and broccoli and cucumbers and tomatoes, and it's all cut fresh that morning. They're good salads. They're big. I don't know if you eat the whole thing.
Well, I do, but I eat a portion of a man, so I'm just gonna be honest.
Those are always really good. But we also do things like Greek salads and taco salads, and we have fun soups every day. We have a different soup, taco soup. We have a Tuscan bean soup today made with garlic. That's probably why you smell that.
Goodness.
And they're all healthy. They're all made fresh every morning. We don't have a standard menu. But rest assured, we always have something for somebody to eat.
Well, speaking of that, they can follow you on Instagram.
Instagram.
And they can see your menu. They can follow you on Facebook.
Yes.
And see your menu daily. So they can check you out. That's what happens at our work. Everyone's like, what's the Bean Pod doing? And they look and see what you
your
do.
menu.
Yeah.
And then we also do, we have a website. It's called mybeanpod.com. You can log on there, and it pops up everything on there as well. So.
Yeah. And then one last thing we'll just mention quickly, and then we'll let everybody go because we know everybody's ready. If you are still kind of distancing and that's an issue for you, a lot of people are not comfortable eating in a restaurant quite yet. This is awesome because you are, first of all, you guys are using all safe and best practices.
Yes.
But then if I take that and go home and put it in the oven, then I am the final person touching it. It's not, and it's cooked. And so there's no concern about any types of germs or anything like that being spread. So it's a really great, safe alternative
It
when
is.
you are not wanting to cook.
It is. It's when you take the meal home, it's frozen at a temperature below 40 degrees, which kills off bacteria when you take it home out of the cooler. When you get it home, you keep it in your fridge, it stays below temperature, and when you bake it above a temperature that bakes off anything that's on there. So it's not only froze to below where it's a safe product, but it's also baked again at a safe temperature.
Yeah.
To where there's no contamination whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kevin, trained at North Georgia Tech, right?
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
Locally trained chef. You graduated
2015.
2015.
Yep.
And you've been cooking since then.
Before then.
And you
Before
started before then in
I
a
actually
restaurant.
I had my chef code before I went to school, but yes, I've been cooking for a while, probably about 7 years.
7 years, yeah. So local chef, local entrepreneur and chef. And
Chef by mommy.
yeah, chef by mommy. Listen, that's a great way to earn a chef coat. This is a place you want to bring your family when you have people come from out of town. You can grab a meal, you can eat at home. But what I love more than anything when I come in here is it feels like I'm going to my sister's house.
Yes.
And I'm like, what's she got cooking today? And it feels like a place that cares about our community, cares about the people in our community. You're giving back all the time. So this is one of those spots that, man, shop local, eat local, and stop at the Bean Pod and show them a lot of love. Tell them you saw them on Facebook, on our Facebook Live. And,
Get a prize.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have a prize?
I will get prizes, yes.
She will give a prize. So if you're the first one to come in and tell her that you saw this on Facebook Live, she's going to do a prize. Is that
Prize,
right?
yes.
I put her on the spot. She has to now. We don't know what it'll be. All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for coming
We
out.
love
Thank
it.
you.